Hi and welcome to City Happenings. I'm Mayor David Black. Papillion continues to grow and offers much to its residents so they can live, work, and play. For more about Papillion, here's City Happenings.
Thanks, Mayor Black. The city's new Public Works Director is in place. Having a year's transition time with the former director was incredibly important.
There's a lot of institutional knowledge there that you have an opportunity to tap into and document and get familiar with certain things that may be problematic and that, whereas if you get a 2 weeks notice, it really doesn't give you a whole lot of time if you have that person even hired before that person retires.
Originally hired as the city engineer, becoming Public Works Director wasn't even a thought.
I don't think I probably ever knew what a Public Works Director was until I started into this industry in January of 2000. I mean, I don't think kids aspire to be Public Works Directors. It just kind of finds its way to you.
Despite that, Thompson notes that it's an important job.
Somebody has to make sure that the infrastructure of the city is being maintained and taken care of. So it's not something that I ever had envisioned, or I think most people would probably envision starting out in a career, but it is a great job and very important.
Thompson and former director Marty Lemming took different paths. Lemming began at the lowest level and worked his way up to the director spot. Thompson is a college-educated engineer.
I've had a lot of experience and training in technologies, and I think going to school gives you a different perspective in working in a team environment where, Marty certainly worked in a team environment, building his way up through the organization, but it was just a different environment, I think, and having that technical expertise certainly helps.
Thompson points out that he and Lemming are a lot alike.
The way our minds work as far as finding solutions to problems, and sometimes people tend to overcomplicate problems and create more problems because of it, and we try to find simple solutions, but having that technical background gives you a little bit more of some insight on how things may develop. It helps you ask a lot of questions and really kind of work through a problem-solving, systematic problem-solving strategy to find a solution to a problem. So certainly the technical side of things is of value, but the institutional knowledge that Marty has, having built his way up through the organization, provides an extreme amount of value too. So, and that's not something you can really teach. It's something you learn.
The local grade schools have a Liberty Day. City Attorney Carla Rupiper, in cooperation with the Papillion Area Lions Club, gives a presentation on the U.S. Constitution.
I sometimes will touch base with the teachers to find out where they are in their studies, respective to the Revolutionary War, American history, if they've actually talked about the Constitution yet. So I have a sense of where the kids might be.
Once that's determined, she sets up her presentation accordingly.
I always show up with an outline that I can present to the children that they can use as a resource, and it's one that I developed a number of years ago. But it gives them really a very abbreviated history of how this country came to be, from the earliest settlers to, present day.
The talk begins with the early Americans rejecting British rule and having to devise a new set of rules on how to govern.
I try to help the kids sometimes relate to what would it be like if your classroom had no rules, if your school had no rules. What do you hear with respect to other countries that have no rules? And so we talk about, rules are a necessary thing in order to have security and peace and prosperity. And without it, there's chaos. And the kids quickly identify, they use the word chaos. There would be chaos. So as much as we sometimes don't like rules and the application of rules to each of us, they also understand it's very necessary.
Time is spent talking specifically about the structure of the Constitution.
The 3 branches of government, the balance of power, what that concept means, why is that important, how it's so different from from British rule at the time. But every presentation is somewhat geared to what's on the minds of the kids and where they are in their studies.
Giving these presentations has been an incredible experience.
I'm always amazed that they are all so well behaved, and they just sit there like sponges and are so eager. I try to sprinkle lots of questions and elicit some group participation, and they're all so eager to share with me what they have learned in their classrooms and in their studies. And so we really, I think of it as we are having I'm having a conversation with the children.
Those conversations are used to further the discussion.
I figure out what they haven't studied, and I try to interject some of the new concepts that they will hopefully be learning about in their classrooms.
CHI Midlands Hospital is part of a community benefit program that provides medical care for those who are underinsured or uninsured.
As costs continue to accelerate and more people could not afford health care, that something had to be changed. And so I do believe we're going to see more turmoil in the federal government as they determine, what's the most appropriate way of providing health care. And so I do believe that's why CHI is really not waiting for Washington to make a lot of certain steps. We're going to continue to provide health care in the community, and that's where you've seen us really try to strive for the value of what the health care is at a lowest cost possible. And so trying to find the most appropriate care at the appropriate time.
The health insurance climate prompts moves unseen before in medical care.
And so you see us opening a lot of different new and innovative ideas for healthcare, quick care clinics, online applications for diagnosis, that you can get your medical diagnosis on an app, and really just trying to find the most cost-effective way to treat the community. And so I never thought we would be at this state where it would become such a heated battle, but it's definitely something that's going to be on the forefront for next year and probably the next couple of years as we go forward, to try to find an economical way to provide health care to all Americans.
It might surprise many that CHI is a nonprofit.
We do have a very significant foundation that helps us, our community benefit, and so they are active out in the community raising funds for projects. And so as we look at how we spend our capital dollars, we try to spend them wisely, but with philanthropist support, and even within our own employees that support certain projects that we have, that it defrays the cost.
That policy puts more pressure on CHI to be very cost effective.
That's what's happening around Papillion. There are lots of ways to stay up to date with what's happening. You can find us on Facebook, follow the City of Papillion on Twitter, or even watch our YouTube channel. And of course, information about all of our departments and programs is available on our website, www.papillion.org. For more information, go to papillion.org or just call the Mayor's Hotline at 402-827-1111. Thanks for watching.